Hello students, in this video lecture we are going to discuss the next part of this second chapter, that is the different optical sensors. So as we discussed in last lecture, in the electronics field you will find the contact and contactless, position and displacement measurement sensors. So last time we discussed the few contact based sensors, but due to the limitations of the contact based sensors, the sensors are not suitable in some applications. So due to this reason, some non-contact based sensors are also available in this sensor field. So here we are going to discuss the different optical sensors who are working on the optical wave based principle. So these sensors are non-contact based sensors, where the sensors are not connected with the object. Okay, so with the help of the waves, electromagnetic wave or light waves, these sensors are working. So in this particular section we will see the different non-contact based optical sensors. So about this sensor, so as I said, optical sensors are most popular for measuring the position and displacement, and the main advantage of these kind of sensors is the simplicity, because the absence of loading effect like the previous contact based sensors, and relatively long operating distances, that is the distance between the object and the sensor can be considered long. Plus, these sensors are insensitive to stray magnetic field and electrostatic interference. Because of the radio wave or light waves, the information which is moving, or the waves are not interference with the magnetic and electrostatic fields, which makes them quite suitable for many sensitive applications. So an optical position sensor usually requires at least 3 essential components. So in this kind of sensors you will find 3 main components, that is the light source, the second one is the detector, photo detector, and third one is the light guidance devices. So light guidance devices means the special arrangement which consists of the optical lenses, reflecting mirrors, and some additional optical fibers. So these are the 3 main parts, or you can say the components you will find in the optical sensor package. So we will see the first optical sensor, that is the optical bridge. So optical bridge based on, or the concept is based on the bridge circuit, like the classical Wheatstone bridge kind of arrangement, which is employed in many sensors, and the optical sensor is good example of such sensor. So in this figure we can able to see, figure A shows the arrangement where the focusing of an object on the optical sensor. So in figure A we can able to see the sun as a light source, and a special arrangement, reflector kind of arrangement, that is optical system, who is responsible to concentrate the light waves or light rays exactly at the located at the sensor. Figure B shows the connection diagram, connection of the sensing element to the difference amplifier or the proportional amplifier. So 4 sensors, 1, 2, 3, 4 sensors are connected to the operational amplifiers and these operational amplifiers are responsible to give the output in the boosted form. And figure C indicates the packaging, typical package of this particular sensor. So in this case also we can able to see inside here, we can able to see the four quadrants. Okay, sensor 1, 2, 3 and 4, and at the bottom we can able to see the outputs supply and the output from the particular op-amp available below this particular package. So a 4-quadrant photodetector consists of 4 light detectors, 1, 2, 3 and 4 light detectors connected in bridge-like circuit. So the object must have an optical contrast against the background. So here we can able to see, as I said in figure A, the positioning system of a space vehicle. Positioning system of the space vehicle in figure A. So here an image of the sun or any other sufficiently bright celestial object is focused by the optical system, or we can say the telescope, on the 4-quadrant photo detector. So here we can able to see the reflector or optical system which is responsible to concentrate the light rays exactly on the 4-quadrant of the sensor. The opposite parts of the detector are connected to the corresponding inputs to the differential amplifier. So each amplifier produces the output signal proportional to a displacement of the image from the optical center. So this particular sensor is responsible to give the output for x and y coordinates corresponding to the movement or the displacement of the image. So when the image is perfectly centered, there is no any movement, then both amplifiers will produce zero output. So this particular case is observed when the optical axis of the telescope passes through the object. So this is a typical example of the space and image capturing facility. The second type of the optical sensor, so this particular sensor we already discussed, that is a proximity detector with polarized light. So as we know, the light waves consist of the electric and magnetic components. So light can be represented as a wave that oscillates horizontally and vertically, that is electric and magnetic fields available in the radio wave or light wave are exactly perpendicular to each other. So in this case, the photoelectric sensor almost use the light emitting diodes as the light source. So the light emitting diode or the light rays from this particular LEDs oscillates in the vertical and horizontal direction. That is, the light waves we are getting from this particular LED, which consists of vertical and horizontal components, and is referred as unpolarized light. So there are optical filters that constrain the oscillations of unpolarized light to just one direction. So these are known as the polarizing filter. So polarizing filters are responsible either to pass the vertical component or the horizontal components, that is electric or either magnetic components. So in these figures we can able to see figure A shows the direction of the polarization is the same as the filter. So here we can able to see the source of the light, polarized light source and the arrow indicates the direction of the component. And suppose the polarized filter is available, so vertical polarized filter is available. So here we can able to see the light source and the components, vertically polarized waves are passing to this filter. Figure B, where the direction of the polarization is rotated with respect to the filter. So some amount of energy get passed to this particular filter. In third case, figure C, direction of the polarization is the perpendicular with respect to the filter. So suppose the horizontally polarized lights or light components are there and vertically polarization filter is there. So at that time the other side of the filter you will not get the components of the light wave. So the light from LED that passes through the polarizing filter oscillates in only one direction and is referred as the polarized light, or more precisely we can say that linearly polarized light. So polarized light oscillating in one direction, suppose vertical direction cannot pass through the polarizing filter, that constrains the oscillations to the perpendicular direction. So as I said, if suppose vertically polarized filter is there and suppose horizontal components are there, so at that time you will not find that much of energy at the other side of the filter. So in this diagram we can able to see the proximity detector with two polarizing filter position at 90° angle with respect to one other. Okay, so here in this particular case two filters are there, horizontal and vertical. So polarized light returns from the metallic object. Two cases are shown, that is specular reflector kind of object, and second one is the non-metallic kind of reflector. So polarized light returns from the metallic object within the same plane of the polarization. Okay, so here we can able to see the horizontally polarized at the receiver end and at the transmitter with the vertically polarized. Okay, so vertical components are easily passing to this particular filter, and at the other side of the filter the vertical components are available, and after the reflection or detection of the objects, the reflected waves again get absorbed by this particular detector. And suppose horizontal filters are there, horizontal components get absorbed or get detected. And in case of non-metallic, as shown in figure A, so non-metallic object depolarizes light, thus allowing it to pass through the polarizing filter. So here we can able to see the optical source, okay, vertical polarizing filter. So this particular symbol indicates it consists of, or the light wave consists of the vertical and horizontal components, and after this particular filter, here we are getting the vertically polarized waves, they get reflected. Okay, and suppose at the receiving end horizontal filter is there, and suppose the vertical components are passing to this particular filter. So at this side, this particular case, there is no any components get received by this particular detector. So this is about the basic working principle of this particular proximity detector with two polarized filters. The third category in this particular sensor, that is a fiber optic sensor. So working of this fiber optic based sensor is based on the reflection and refraction principle. So one example they are given, that is a optical level detector which utilizes the change in the refractive index. So two cases they have shown, the tip of this particular sensor is not dipped in this particular liquid, and second one, here in this case the tip of this particular sensor is under the inside the particular liquid. So we will discuss the first sensor where the location of the sensor is above this particular liquid. So in this case, one end of this optical fiber is connected, usually find with the optical source, laser or light emitting diode. And the working principle of this particular kind of optical fiber is based on the total internal reflection. So inside the optical fiber you will find the number of reflections. Okay, so two main components or two main parts of the optical fiber, that is core part and the cladding part. So inside the core part, the series of reflections you will find. Okay, so here in this case different light waves which are propagating through the optical fiber. So light rays will pass through the optical fiber. So in this case we can able to see the two waves. So the first wave is exactly parallel to the fiber axis. Okay, so one end of the optical fiber is connected to the optical source and other end of the sensor or the optical fiber sensor is connected to the optical detector. Okay, so in this case other end of the optical fiber is connected to the optical detector. So if suppose the optical sensor is not dipped in the liquid or above the liquid, so at that time the light rays exactly will pass through this particular optical fiber and get reflected back towards the detector. That means the detector will receive the maximum light energy by the detector, which shows that the sensor is above the particular liquid. The second case, if suppose the liquid inside the sensor inside the liquid, so at that time here we can able to see again the number of reflections inside the optical fiber. Again two rays, the first ray exactly parallel to the fiber axis and one more or number of reflections which are observed inside the optical fiber. So after this case, or we can say if suppose the tip of this particular sensor inside the liquid, so the glass or prism type of mechanism is responsible to change the direction of the light wave. So as soon as this sensor goes inside, or the tip of the sensor goes inside the liquid, the light rays will change its path. That is, here we can able to see in the diagram the light ray which is available exactly parallel to the axis, it change its path and going inside the liquid. This is the first and this is the second. And at the receiving end, or the fiber which is attached to the optical detector will not receive that much of energy from the transmitter. So this shows that, which means that the sensor inside the liquid. So this is the simple working principle of this kind of fiber optic sensor. Second category of this particular fiber optic sensor, second type, that is U-shaped liquid level detector. So in this particular package, the U-shaped fiber optic you will find. So in this case, if suppose the sensor is above the liquid level, then the light at the output is strongest. So in figure A we can able to see the light rays are passing to this particular optical fiber, and here some liquid drops or droplets are available, and this particular area is known as the sensing region or sensing area. So as I said, the two main parts of this particular sensor fiber optic cable, that is core part and the cladding part, and inside the core part you will find the light rays. Okay, so series of or number of reflections you will find. So in this case the light ray is passing to the core part, okay, and at the other end of this particular sensor is connected to the optical detector. So if suppose the detector is getting more light rays, which means that the sensor is not dipped or above the liquid level or liquid. The second case, when the sensitive region of this sensor touches to the liquid, the light propagated to the fiber drops. So as soon as this particular sensor goes inside the liquid, the light rays will change its path and the detector will receive minimum light energy. So in this way we can say that the liquid level is above the particular threshold level, or we can say the sensor inside the particular liquid. Then the fourth type, that is linear optical sensors. So this is also a non-contact based sensor. So for precision position measurement over a short and long ranges, the optical system or optical based, the near infrared can be quite effective, or IR based system is required. So the best example is the PSD produced for the precision position sensing and autofocusing in photographic and video cameras. So in this case, the position measuring module is of an active type, where you will find the light emitting diode and photo detector, that is PSD kind of photo detective kind of arrangement. So the position of an object is determined by applying the principle of the triangular measurement. So what is the triangular measurement, we'll see in the next. So in this particular linear optical sensor, you will find a triangular measurement arrangement. So in this case, the two main components, that is light emitting diode and the PSD kind of detector, light detector. So light emitting diode with the special focusing lens arrangement. Okay, so LED is responsible to produce the light rays, and after the reflection by an object, the beam incidence on this particular detector. So here L0 indicates the distance between the front face of the sensor or lens to the object. LB indicates the the distance between the lens axis. Small f indicates the focal length between the light emitting diode, PSD and the lens. So depending on this kind of arrangement, the PSD or detector will receive the light intensity, and depending on this particular intensity, he will produce the current to the external circuitry. So this is the design of the one-dimensional PSD or detector. So here we can able to see the three terminals of the device, okay, and the current flowing through the device IA, IB, and the other terminal, that is common electrode. So three electrodes are there, electrode A, B and C, or three terminals of the device, and the resistive material, that is P-type resistive material, and N plus layer or N-type material, okay, which is designed with the help of high resistance Si substrate, and depending on the incidence of the light beam, the flow of the current through the device terminals. So in this diagram we can able to see the typical arrangement and the package. So here we can able to see in this figure A the optical position displacement sensor. So inside this particular package you will find the LED driver circuit, or sometimes the laser driver circuit. Now in this figure, the LED driver circuit. So LED driver circuit is responsible to excite the light emitting diode. Then in front of this LED you will find the focusing lens, light source lens. Okay, so light source lens is responsible to produce light beam, and in front of this particular lens you will find the displacement measurement scheme. Okay, then depending on the positions, the receiving lens or the focusing lens which are located in front of the optical position detector or detector, he will receive the light rays, and the detected output is given to the amplifier circuit, because the detected signal is a weak signal. It is required to boost it up to a certain level, such a way that the next stage available or connected sensor can work on that particular mechanism. So amplifier circuit will boost the weak signals from the optical detector, and then output from this particular amplifier is given to the terminals of the sensor. So in figure B we can able to see one or two dimensional detector sensors, linear optical detectors, and circular, rectangular, square kind of packages of this particular sensors. The next type of the sensor that we already discussed, that is ultrasonic sensor. So this is also a non-contact distance measurement sensor. So this is an active sensor that transmit some kind of pilot signal that we already discussed. Okay, and the receiver the receiver which receives the signal reflected from the object can be designed. So here the transmitted energy may be in the form of the any radiation, for example electromagnetic in the optical range, like in a PSD, which is described in the previous example. So electromagnetic in the microwave range or any other acoustic kind of wave. So here the transmission and the reception of the ultrasonic energy is a basis for very popular ultrasonic range meter and velocity detector. So here the ultrasonic waves are acoustic wave covering the frequency range well beyond the capabilities of the human ears, that you know very well, that is over 20 kilohertz. So this frequency may be quite perceptive by smaller animals like dog, cats, and rodent and insects. So indeed the ultrasonic detectors are the biological ranging devices for bats and other dolphin kind of detection. So in this particular figure A we can able to see the typical arrangement where the control circuit is responsible to drive the transmitter, and transmitter is able to produce the waves ultrasonic waves. L0 indicates the distance between the transmitter and the object, and after the reflection the receiver will receive the reflected wave, and depending on the estimation between the transmitted and the received wave, the control circuitry is responsible to predict the distance. Okay, and in figure B the typical characteristics, impedance characteristics for this particular ultrasonic sensor or the piezoelectric transducer. So in these figures we can able to see the piezoelectric sensor arrangement, the circuitry. So in figure A we can able to see the transmitter section where the input voltage is applied to the two terminals of the piezoelectric material, that is piezo ceramic element. Okay, and depending on the excitation voltage, this particular material or element is responsible to produce the ultrasonic waves with the help of metallic diaphragm. Okay, and at the receiver side you will find the ultrasonic detector. Again you will find the metallic diaphragm and the piezo material who is responsible to absorb the ultrasonic waves, and depending on the vibrations this particular element is responsible to produce the output voltage from the two terminals of this particular sensor. Figure B shows the open aperture type ultrasonic transducer for operation in air. So here we can able to see the device terminals. Okay, then the radial cone is nothing but the diaphragm, metallic diaphragm, which is located. So radial cone is responsible to produce the ultrasonic wave in a limited radiation pattern. So metallic diaphragm will produce the vibrations, and depending on that the radial cone will produce the waves. Below this you will find the piezoelectric or piezoceramic element, which is connected to the terminals of the device with the help of the lead wires. Okay, and elastic material is also responsible to suppress the vibrations or to improve the sensitivity or to minimize the particular vibrations which are observed with this particular piezoceramic element. And this particular mechanism or the arrangement you will find the inside the housing. So this is the typical package, that is ultrasonic transducer metallic package, and inside the package you will find this kind of arrangement. And in figure B we can able to see the radiation diagram or the pattern, where you will find the major lobe and some minor lobe. So major lobe, which indicates the maximum energy which is available with the ultrasonic wave, and some minor lobes with minimum energy.